Hey guys, I'm MeeMee and I do Allsorts, and first of all I would like to apologise for the noise that is my washing machine sounding like it's in pain, but about then what better to win than to prove that you're a hoard than showing a haul. And today the haul that I'm going to show you, if you haven't already guessed, is Arteza. Now, I'm not sponsored, not affiliated, but I am super excited to try all of these products and to bought. I have seen a lot of people use them, and honestly, they sing the praises so highly, and I'm super excited to try them. By the way, all of these were on sale, and this was a couple of months ago. I was just waiting for a few items to come in. So let's get started. So first up we have these Arteza metallic markers. I'm sorry for the strange orange light. I'm directly below my living room light at the moment, so you will get some really weak glares. So I found these. Unfortunately I don't know the prices, some of them, but they're pretty standard metallic markers. So I've been looking forward to using them. I think if I read correctly, these were meant to work on different surfaces as well, so I'm going to be testing them out at some point. Right, next is something again I'm super excited to try. I'm sorry my voice is a bit croaky at the moment. And I found these to be really interesting. Not only are these eraser pencils when the lead is actually the rubber, but also on the other end you get these brushes. So you erase and then you use the brush to brush it off, and I really want to try these, so that's what we're going to do. So as you can see, I've quickly and very scruffily wrote down Arteza, because why not? So the concept is quite straightforward. You can just erase it, and part of it's broke off already. But I really do love using these. Wow, that really did. The erasing did go down very quickly, which I'm extremely surprised at. I do have one which I've just bought for more of because I love the brand so much. It's Koino. And this is the brand that I really love using, and this is like brand new, and it does actually work a little bit better than this one does. But anyway, I'm going to use the brush end. It's quite firm, so we should get really good results. And you know, nothing special about it, but it is actually doing the job a lot better than the eraser did. So for that alone, I will give a skeptical thumbs up, just not with the performance of the eraser. And next we have a disposable palette pad. It's 9 inches by 12 inches, so it is quite big, as you can see. Before I found this, I've been using parchment paper to mix some paints, which I'm assuming that this works on the same level. I haven't exactly opened it yet, hence why there's an awful lot of glare on it. But you know, it's quite big. I can use them multiple times because I don't really like wasting things, and it says easy tear, bleed proof, smooth coating, ideal for a variety of wet media, and acid free. And of course you could see them because of the glare, so take my word for it. And what's a paint palette without some paints, or in this case watercolors. Now I do love my watercolors. I usually use the main brand then to use is my Winsor & Newton 14-2 half pan set. So I'm actually, you know, these are very cheap watercolors, and they are like discs, and I'll show you in a minute. They do claim to be opaque, and according to the reviews they are really good. And so on the back is more information than I have seen on most of the products. So it does say opaque colours, non-toxic, includes a number 4 brush, and then lists every single colour that's included. So inside we've got this plastic container. It is ridged, which I have never seen before, but it does feel quite sturdy actually. And inside there's our pans. Now, up on first glance they are very, very chalk-like, and just feeling it, it really is very chalky, and it has come off on my fingers. Now, I love the fact that my camera is portraying them as like very vibrant, because they're more muted in real life. So you've got one set there, and underneath you've got another set, which actually in real life they are a bit more muted. I mean, that green is like a very dark khaki green colour. You can move them as well and move them around wherever you want, which I thought was a really neat idea. And you know, it was actually, I think these were about £10, so you know, I thought, why not? I like trying out different things. So there's your brush. It seems quite decent enough, but I'm going to be using my watercolour brushes because they're more high quality. And they do actually give you a tube of white premium watercolours, which is really weird considering, you know, these are pans. But also looking, you don't get a white with it, so you know, it was really nice of them to give you a full tube of white watercolours. Very interesting. It is quite weighty as well, which I found quite surprising. You know, considering that they are like chalk pans. But again, you've got to try these things, don't you? Next, something else I'm really excited to try, and these are metallic gouaches. Now, I love a bit of sparkle in my paintings, and according to a lot of YouTubers who have tried them, and even the reviews, these are really good. So these are what they look like. They come in tubes, and there's different. So there's 2 layers of 12 colours. I also love as well how they give you a key of the light fastness and the transparency. Light fastness is very important because it shows you how archival they are, you know, which is always a good thing to have. Transparency and just depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for something very opaque? Are you looking for something a bit more transparent? You know, it's just preferred methods. Now, with these, I had a great idea of getting a plain watercolour tin where I can actually put the individual colours in, so I'm not having to keep going into the tubes and wasting them. So I'm going to be doing an experiment, and I've seen people do it before when they do actually put the wrong colours in, so they're not, like I said, having to keep going into the tubes and wasting them. The theory is that I'm going to put all of the colours in here and just use them straight out of the tin. If it dries up, hopefully I can reactivate them. I would say though, if you are going to get one of these, be extra careful when cleaning them, because there is a very, very razor sharp edge here, and I have actually slit my thumb open, and honestly it was so damn painful. So if you are going to clean them, be super careful. And to continue with the sparkling theme, I have holographic glitter. Yeah, these are not holographic whatsoever. These are more iridescent. And how can you tell then it's iridescent? Well, if it's holographic, then every time you shift the colours, they turn into all the rainbow colours. These only shift like a couple of colours, but they are from the same brand of nail polish if you've noticed my videos, but these are Holo, but this is Holo. Now, as you can see, I am a huge fan of the brand holotaco, and this is the birthchild of YouTube's very own Simply Nailogical. You can see the shifting rainbow colours on the name. That is Holo. And by the way, I'm non-sponsored, not affiliated. I just love the holotaco brand. And I will leave a link in the description box down below if you're interested. Anyway, apart from the slight room to let's go back to the table. So yeah, and there's your little history lesson. And what to paint and metallic paints without watercolour paper. Again, I heard really great reviews about these. There are different types of these. I've got the premium, but the next one up is expert, which is apparently supposed to be the best. And a lot of more expert watercolour users do actually use them, and they do sing high praises for their expert watercolour paper. But like I said, this one was on sale. This one has 32 sheets. It's A4. It's 300 GSM. £140, which is really good. Fortunately, the camera is like really in the way here. It's cold press, acid free, glue bound, which I really do like because you don't have to stick it down to the table because it's already pre-glued around the edges. And then after you finished, you just slide a ruler or something underneath and just gently press the edges up, and it just stops pages from curling or warping, which does happen quite a lot because, you know, paper and water do not mix. And it does say ideal for watercolour techniques and mixed media. So that was the watercolour paper, and now a huge stack of canvases. These were quite pricey. As you can see, I had to turn it around so you can somehow read all of the information, because as we all know, we can read sideways. There's 10 canvases in this, and all in 5 different sizes, you know, ranging from small to like A4. I don't know if you can see because the light really is shining on here, but you've got like different sizes, and like I say, you get 2 of each. It's 100% cotton. So I thought then if I had different sizes, then I've got a choice of which size I actually want to use. I don't know how else to explain it, but I do have a lot of ideas of what I want to do with these. And talking about canvases, I've got some that don't even fit in frame. Now, I actually thought I was getting, and this time these are black canvases. Now, talking about canvases, these ones I got so excited when I first seen them, and I mean really excited, then I didn't even pay attention to what size they were. But yeah, I actually thought that I was getting the previous one with the different sizes, but like I said, I got really excited, and then I didn't pay attention to the fact that these were 11 inches by 14 inches. But I don't care. But I also got very excited because not only them, but the other reason why I got was because I'd seen some pictures on the reviews, especially when people were using the metallic gouache. And honestly, they just came up so beautifully, and again, I got really excited. Didn't pay attention to the signs, but you know, happy little accidents. So yes, I am so looking forward to these, and I've actually had a quick look on the internet and I've found so much inspiration, and I cannot wait to do something. But yeah, it is quite a big chunk, and it's taken up quite a lot of space in my corner. Speaking of which, here I've gone to 5x7 canvas panels. And these are actually black as well, so they're going to be a lot smaller to work on. And I just thought then the small size would also And with that said, we're on to our very last item, which is this Arteza marker case. This gone for around about £20 or £18 or something, and it fits 108 markers, which I thought was brilliant because I have a lot of Posca markers. I'd say a lot. I've practically nearly got the entire collection in 2 different sizes. And I also have a huge collection of markers from Scrawlrbox and others that I've bought over the years. But unfortunately, out of all of the collections, the only ones that fit in here and the small Posca markers, the PC1MR and the Copic Chows, and they're the only ones that can actually fit because the other ones are far too thick. But I suppose that the more I use and the more I can loosen up the elastic on the inside, which I will show you right now. So as you can see, this is practically the whole of my Posca marker collection. I've got 2 different sizes. I've got the PC1MR, which is your very fine tip, and the PC3, which is your medium. Only these ones actually fit into the slots. So that's what it looks like after I've taken everything out. You can open them the sides, and in the middle here you've got 1 insert. You've got all of your marker slots. The middle insert has them on both sides, as well as on the other side. Now as you can see, this is what I mean, that I can only fit the smaller Poscas in there. And also, as you can see, I have a huge extensive collection of white Posca markers because you can never have too much white. I've got quite a few blacks, and these are my Copic Chows, which just about fit in. And these ones are actually bigger than that one, but again, because this is actually brand new, they were quite difficult to put in. But again, the more I use them, then the more it'll be easy to take them in and out. But for now, it's great for what I need it for. At least all my Poscas are in the same place. So I really can't complain, and it just keeps them all nice. You know, I can stack it away somewhere out in the way, so yeah. So there you go, and that, minus all of the big canvases, that is my Arteza haul. Now I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'm sure that my neighbours would have loved hearing me repeating myself 1,000,001 times. I got some really great deals, and I can't wait to try out everything. And again, I'm not sponsored, not affiliated, and I'm just an art fan. I love trying new things. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.